Excuse me. My name is Detective Frostbite. I think it's time you and I have a chat about something that happened last night. Meet me at 124 Alderson Avenue in the office buildings. Let's chat.
Hello. It is so finally nice to meet you in person. My name is Detective Frostbite. I specialize in murder and disappearances. Well, I used to, anyway. Mainly switched over to handling murders because I feel like there's a need for more murder detectives in this town. Well, let's cut straight to business. Would you like any coffee, water, maybe even a cigar? Not a smoker? Understandable. Well, this case is definitely a doozy in a lot of cases that I've ever done. I need you to tell me what happened. And you may be asking, what happened? Why am I here? Well, yesterday, you went to some kind of party for someone who was a millionaire, and in the morning, they were found dead in the ballroom. No one knows how, no one knows why, but he ended up dead. Wasn't from natural causes, of course, because I've came and looked at the body myself. Didn't look like he died from old age or any other things that can happen naturally. But from eyewitness accounts, you attended this gala last night. Is that correct? Good. Nothing to worry about exactly. Just trying to get statements and more information on the murder. What's that? No, you're not incarcerated. No, you're not detained. However, you were a person who attended this gala, meaning you have vital information I could use to solve this murder. No, you're not a suspect. Not yet, anyway. I just need you to tell me what happened, so then I can start writing down some information. Let me just grab my notepad here. Alright. Recap from the beginning. Can you tell me what happened? Where you were? Okay. Alrighty then. Can you tell me what you witnessed? Was there anything unusual that should probably catch my attention? You're talking about the waiter? What happened with the waiter? What's so oddly about him? They seem suspicious? Alright. You know, in all my years of being a detective, I've never come across a case like this that's so stumping. No murder weapon was left. The only thing that was left was the body. I can't tell what exactly happened from the looks of it. That's why you are so vital to this case, is you were there. You saw something that probably I couldn't see in due time. I know. Oh no, I promise you this won't be a long meeting. I just need your account on what happened and what exactly you witnessed. That's all there is to it today. Okay. Right. Okay. I see. Alright. And just for my knowledge, was there at any point you came in contact with Mr. Blackwood? Yes, that is the name of the person who's been murdered, is Mr. Blackwood. Cherished man. Ran a few charities around the area. Helped at food banks. Helped with kids in Africa. Very respectable man in this community, and that's why it's such a serious case. Not exactly a case I ever thought I'd be working on, but life throws curveballs at you when you don't expect it. So, with this information, I need your testament. Because if I don't, then you're as useful to me as a box of rocks. Yeah. Right? Well, there's a few people there who came in contact with this individual who was murdered. The waiter, the cook, the butler, and then you. 4 suspects. However, all the other 3 have stuff against them that can make them prime suspects. However, you. It doesn't seem like there's any evidence that points to you quite yet. And that makes me think I trust you a little bit. Who knows? Maybe you are innocent in this game. Of course, murder's nothing to laugh about. You know, with a man with such a high profile, it's quite a hefty jail time. You know that, right? Probably life in prison without chance of parole. I'm trying to give you a hand here. I'm trying to extend a friendly hand where you can be honest. And if you do that, and you're found to be a suspect, I'll probably tell the judge to go a little bit easy on you. Nothing that an innocent person can't handle, right? So you say you would tell me if there was something wrong, correct? What was that? Oh yeah. According to records, it was in his manor where the party was held. In the ballroom exactly on the far left corner, almost like the murderer tried to hide the body. Fortunately for us, one of the maids actually spotted the body before any of the police could. Called the police, had hazmat detectives, including me, come out to the body. Didn't see any gunshots or stab wounds, unfortunately. This case might run cold for a while, but I promise you, whoever murdered him will get to justice and will get served. Because with people this valuable in our community will not be forgotten on such a dangerous scale. Now, please enlighten me. What are your contact information that I should know about? Emails, names, phone numbers? Okay. What's a good phone number? Alrighty. What's a good email for you? No, we're not quite finished here. There's more questions I have to ask you. Some you might not want to hear. Sometimes people who sit at the under end of this desk start to cry and admit their wrongdoings. But you're not. And that surprises me. If a person really did commit a murder, they would confess right now, especially since I have the opportunity to make it easier for them in court. I can say that you were remorseful for the crime that was committed. Plead insanity, possibly. Although you'd be sent to a hospital. Well, a psychiatric and mental hospital, that is. You'd be placed in there for God knows how long. Until they decide that you're no longer a threat. But since you're not showing me any signs that you're guilty, maybe you can be my companion in this case. Go with me, help me find things that I couldn't see. Because apparently you have an eye for that, don't you? You can spot things not everyone else can. Ever thought about becoming a detective? Maybe a law enforcement officer? You'd be quite valuable here. Nothing to worry about. You'd probably pass the academy, most likely. Any other things you want to do? Go to college? Start a family? I see. No kids quite yet? Do you have any spouses? Okay, you have a lover. Did they attend this with you? No? Alrighty then. Where were they at the time of this? Getting food? Why exactly did they not go with you? I assume a couple would love to go to something like this, especially something this fancy. Am I wrong? Just chilling at home, didn't feel quite well. Felt a little ill. Is that correct? What a weird coincidence. I'm not assuming anything, of course, but it just so happens that Mr. Blackwood was murdered in his own house, and your spouse was at home sick. Out of all the days they could have been sick, it's this night that this happened. This case is very, very difficult to solve. But with a companion like you on my side, there's no doubt that we'll be able to crack it in no time. But I need you to make a decision right now for me. Will you help me with this case? Or will you let it fall and become cold? And let the person who murdered this innocent man get away? That's the bigger question here. Will the people who've been there step up to the plate? Of course, let's not kid ourselves. The whole case can get real out of whack real quick. It's with people who have good morals, who are willing to admit when they've done something wrong. When this case becomes so clear that no one else could have committed it, but only the people who have been close to Mr. Blackwood at the time. Because it was quite a fancy event, don't get me wrong. Probably $1 million champagne, wine, probably some escargot, blue cheese, probably steaks for the entree. That's the kind of snooty we're talking about. And I don't think Mr. Blackwood would just invite anyone to these kinds of galas. I feel like they would only invite exclusive people and or members of any specific club or groups of his. Am I wrong? Well, you, unfortunately, are linked to a few of those. And since you've been to the gala last night, you probably know him better than anyone else would, right? You help with him with charities. You've done some volunteer work according to your records with him. You're quite interesting, don't you know? It's times like this where we stand up and we take a look at around us. But who's going to be willing to take the fall? Probably the person who committed the murder nonetheless. Sorry, I get ahead of myself on murders like this. I can't deny a good murder thrill. Especially when cases like this run cold, it's very, very interesting to see how things laid out. How there was no murder weapon left on scene. To see how there was no immediate items near his persons. The only thing that was on him was his ID. His driver's license, to be more precise. He always went everywhere with it. Couldn't go anywhere because he was afraid that if something were to be happening, he wouldn't be able to be identified. course, especially with someone such high profile. The ID wasn't needed to know who it was. However, seeing his body the way it was definitely not the best way to see the poor man. His body, pale, lifeless. Looks like he's been dead for precisely about 17 hours, meaning that the murder probably happened at about, I would say about 11 p.m., just before midnight. Of course, some murders happen at night, some murders happen at pure daylight. Well, of course, the murderer always returns to the scene of the crime for some reason. And no one has quite yet, which is quite strange. And it's odd, like I've stated before, that any murderers would return to the scene of the crime for any reason. Disposing of evidence, perhaps? Hiding the body? The possibilities are endless. Of course, let's not get ahead of ourselves. There's always a lot here to unpack, and every bit of evidence in these cases matter quite a ton. You may have heard the saying, every little bit helps. In every murder case, every statement, every object, every single fingerprint counts. It can possibly lower the roster of suspects or add in new ones that we didn't see before. Let's see. Did you see anything else? Body was face down. Alrighty. Good information. I'm starting to like you a little bit. There's nothing that would immediately suspect me of you, which is quite good. Because you don't seem like the person that would have the willpower to do it, are you? You know, all my years of being a detective has taught me one thing. Always keep something in reserve. Don't let something run cold because you want it to. And that goes for me as well. If I were to die from something or someone, we already have a lot of other very clever, sly detectives lined up. However, I was the first at the academy to pass with a perfect score. It goes to show how dedicated I am to this position of mine, and how I wouldn't jeopardize it for anything. Hopefully you can understand that. Yes, I understand. It's not that. It's that cases like these hit me in the feels sometimes. As much as I want to keep up the big act, cases like these can be very emotionally pushing and or taxing. Seeing all these people being murdered in cold blood, it's sad. It's the unfortunate truth that things like this happen every day. How detectives like me have to go out of their way to find the smallest details. From the big bloody knife laying on the other side of the room, to the tiniest piece of hair on the victim's chest. And that's why I say every bit counts. Because it helps you with almost everything. And you only need a certain amount until it's plain to see who or what happened. People lie, unfortunately. People lie because they think it'll get them out of trouble, but not with me. I can see through liars like a book. You can't lie to me. Hopefully you understand that. There's nothing you can do here that can get you to not make me think that you're lying. Because as a detective, I have to assume that you're lying until you've proven yourself to be innocent. Unfortunately, that's how this country has gone down. Innocent till proven guilty is unfortunately not the case. It's guilty until you prove yourself to be innocent. Very sad, nonetheless. But, sorry, I rant a lot about a lot of things. Wait a minute. You said you saw the body face down, right? How would have you known that? The police never released that information to anyone.